Welcome to our channel Storm Rider. If you've grown up in South Asia, particularly in Pakistan, the name Mehran probably evokes a whole range of memories, from learning how to drive to endless road trips in a no-frills car that somehow always got the job done. And now, in a surprising twist in 2025, Suzuki has brought the Mehran back. Yes, the 2025 Suzuki Mehran is here, not as a completely overhauled, unrecognizable machine, but as a modern homage to its iconic predecessor. Today, we're diving deep into this car, from design, performance, features, and practicality, to see whether it's a worthy rebirth or just a nostalgia play. Let's start with the overall feel of the car. When you see the new Mehran for the first time, there's an instant familiarity. It still carries that boxy DNA that was a defining element of its identity: compact, squared-off edges, and a form that prioritizes function over flamboyance. But Suzuki has added just enough modern touches to keep it relevant in 2025. The headlights are now projector halogens with integrated LED daytime running lights, subtly framed by a redesigned front grille that is slimmer and more aerodynamically shaped than the older model. The front bumper gets a dual-tone treatment in higher variants, with functional air vents and a sleeker finish. Dimension-wise, the 2025 Mehran is slightly larger than its predecessor, primarily to comply with modern safety regulations and passenger comfort expectations. The wheelbase has been stretched slightly, offering more interior room, and the ride height has been adjusted to better handle speed bumps and poor road conditions, which are still prevalent in many developing regions. The body panels are now made with higher strength steel, improving crash safety while maintaining that lightweight, agile character that Mehran owners have always loved. There's still a manual side mirror adjustment in the base variant, a tongue-in-cheek nod to its Spartan past, but top-end variants now include power mirrors and central locking as standard. Speaking of variants, Suzuki is offering the 2025 Mehran in 3 trims: VX, VXR, and VXL, each offering incremental upgrades in features and materials. Pop the hood, and things get interesting. The old carbureted 800cc F8B engine is gone, and good riddance. In its place is a modern 850cc, 3-cylinder DOHC EFI engine developed specifically to meet Euro 5 emission norms while offering better drivability and fuel efficiency. It produces around 45 horsepower and 69 Nm of torque, modest numbers on paper, but in a car that barely tips the scales at 720 kilograms, it feels adequate. The throttle response is noticeably better than the outgoing model, and the engine is surprisingly refined for a budget city car. Paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox, or an optional 5-speed AMT in the VXL trim, the Mehran feels nimble and responsive in city traffic. The gear shifts are light, though a bit notchy at times, especially in the lower variants. Still, for urban driving, the combination works well. Fuel efficiency is where the Mehran continues to shine. Suzuki claims up to 22 km per liter under optimal conditions with the manual, and about 20 km/L with the AMT, impressive numbers for a non-hybrid, petrol-powered hatchback. The fuel tank remains at a practical 30 liters, allowing you to go over 600 km on a full tank if driven sensibly. Now let's get inside. The interior of the 2025 Mehran is a big step up from the bare-bones cabin of the old one, but it's still firmly rooted in the entry-level philosophy. The dashboard design is simple and clean, with hard plastics throughout, but they don't feel cheap or flimsy. The top variant gets a dual-tone dashboard with silver accents, giving it a slightly more upmarket feel. There's a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system available in the VXR and VXL trims, offering Bluetooth, USB, and even Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, a surprising but welcome addition. Audio quality isn't going to blow your mind, but it gets the job done for casual music or navigation. The instrument cluster is analog, with a digital trip meter and fuel gauge, offering essential information with no clutter. The steering wheel is a basic 2-spoke unit, with tilt adjustment only available on the VXL trim. The seats are surprisingly comfortable for a budget car, soft enough for short commutes but not plush. Legroom and headroom are generous for front passengers, and even the rear bench can accommodate 2 adults reasonably well, though 3 would be a squeeze. Suzuki has added better insulation this time, so the cabin feels quieter, with less road and engine noise making its way inside. One of the Mehran's most appealing qualities has always been its simplicity and low running costs. That tradition continues. The engine bay is logically laid out, and Suzuki has focused on ensuring the vehicle is easy to maintain, both in terms of parts availability and serviceability. Most mechanics across South Asia will know how to work on a Mehran with their eyes closed, and that makes the 2025 version just as attractive to budget-conscious buyers, rideshare drivers, or anyone looking for a reliable second car. The suspension setup is basic but effective. McPherson struts up front and a solid axle at the rear. It handles potholes and uneven surfaces better than expected, thanks to the lightweight chassis and taller sidewall tires. It won't give you razor-sharp cornering or high-speed stability, but that's not what it's built for. The steering is manual in the base variant and electric power assisted in the higher trims, offering light feel and easy maneuverability in tight urban spaces. Braking is handled by front disc and rear drum brakes. No ABS in the base variant, but it is included in the VXL trim, along with dual front airbags. In terms of storage, the trunk offers a modest 250 liters of space, enough for a couple of small suitcases or a week's groceries. The rear seat doesn't fold, even in the higher trims, which is a bit of a missed opportunity in terms of versatility. There are no rear AC vents or charging ports, but the front cabin gets a 12V outlet and USB port as standard. Suzuki is offering the 2025 Mehran in 5 colors: classic white, metallic silver, graphite gray, navy blue, and a new cherry red. Alloy wheels are available in the VXL variant, while the VX and VXR stick with 13-inch steel wheels with plastic covers. Tires are slightly wider than before, improving grip and road presence. Now let's talk pricing, which is really the make or break for a car like this. Suzuki has priced the 2025 Mehran starting at around 1.25 million Pakistani rupees for the VX trim, going up to about 1.55 million Pakistani rupees for the top-spec VXL, translating to roughly $4,400 to $5,500 USD depending on local taxes and exchange rates. That's incredibly affordable in 2025, especially when most new cars, even entry-level models, are creeping towards the $10,000 mark or more. And that's where the Mehran's biggest appeal lies. It's not trying to be everything for everyone. It knows its purpose, and it delivers on that with remarkable honesty. Of course, there are compromises. You're not getting cutting-edge technology, high-end materials, or impressive highway performance. There's no sunroof, no cruise control, no advanced safety systems like lane keep assist or adaptive cruise. But you are getting a modern, efficient, and cheap-to-run car that brings back the spirit of the original Mehran: no nonsense, highly practical, and incredibly durable. For students, new drivers, city commuters, or families looking for a budget second car, the 2025 Suzuki Mehran makes a compelling case for itself. It taps into nostalgia, yes, but it also offers something very few cars do today: simplicity in an increasingly complicated automotive world. In a market dominated by tech-heavy, overpriced compact SUVs, the Mehran's return is a refreshing one. It doesn't shout, it quietly delivers. It's not flashy, but it is faithful. And in the long run, that faithfulness, that reliability and cost-effectiveness, might just make the 2025 Mehran another legend in its own right.